little children, I'll take thee away into a land of enchantment. Come, little children, the time's come to play here in my garden of shadows.
Hello, I'm Runya, aka Media Adaptation.
And I'm Ada.
And welcome you back to Moderation, where all media is fair game. And if you'd like to give feedback, then feel free to leave a comment or hit up our Discord channel. Link will be down in the description below. And we're continuing our 31 days of Halloween. We'll do a video each day for the month of October, based on your past suggestions. Some creepy, some not. But anyway, I hope you enjoy them. And today we've been asked to talk about another urban legend, El Silbon, the Whistler, or Whistling Man. Coming from the Los Llanos region of Colombia and Venezuela. Usually described as a lost soul. The legend arose around the 19th century. The story always starts with a son killing his father. In one version, the son's returning home one day only to find his father abusing his young wife, and in his anger, he kills his father. But in a different story, the son is described as a spoiled brat, whose every wish is catered to by his parents. One afternoon, he demands that his father hunt a deer for him, which was his favorite meal. But hours later, the father returns empty-handed. So the son grabs his knife and cuts him open, removing his heart and liver. He then gets his mother to cook it, only realizing much later where they came from. In both versions, it is his grandfather that actually puts the curse upon him, ordering that the young man be tied to a post in the middle of the countryside, and lashed him until his back is bloody and raw, and then peppers were ground into his wounds. He then released the boy, as he was then set upon by rabid starving dogs, which consumed his flesh. His grandfather condemned him to always carry the bones of his father for all eternity, and so he wanders aimlessly, carrying a large sack which houses the bones, and always whistles a certain tune. It is said that if the whistling sound is close, then you are in no danger, and that the whistler is far away. But when the whistling sound is distant, then that means that he is nearby. It is also said that hearing the whistling foretells one's own death, and that anyone can hear it at any time. There are a few things you can do to ward off this spirit, like the sound of barking dogs, a chili, or a whip, as those remind him of how he came to be. I think the first story was actually the credible one, because this spirit tends to focus on evil men like his father, normally drunkards and womanizers. Many inhabitants of Los Llanos say that they have seen him, primarily in the summer, which is normally a time of harsh drought. The whistler sits in the trees and gathers dust in his hands, but it's mainly on rainy or humid days does the spirit wander, hungry for death, and eager to punish the drunkards and womanizers, or sometimes even an innocent victim or two. It is also said that he can suck out the moisture or alcohol from a victim through their navel, and that tears the womanizers to pieces, removing their bones and putting them into his sack, which he keeps his father's remains. Many versions say that he is this giant, 6 meters, and that can move on top the treetops, creaking and emitting its chilling whistles. Another version says that he appears as the shadow of a tall, thin man, normally dressed in a hat and a signature bag, and will only go after drunkards. They say that the whistler can appear by a house at a certain time of night. He drops his sack on the ground and counts the bones one by one. If someone hears this, then nothing will happen. But if someone doesn't hear it before the dawn, then one of the members of the family will never wake up again. This being has showed up in several different versions over the years. His most well-known appearance will probably be in HBO Plus's Phantasmagorious, which talks about several different urban legends from the region, and might be worth its own video down the line. After that, he showed up on Victor Valentino, and stole everyone's bones before getting into a whistling competition, a la Devil Goes Down to Georgia. Also, another show that I haven't watched yet. After that, we get into the movies, starting with the self-titled El Silbon in 2011. followed by his backstory in 2018's Silbon Origins. One more common to the stateside would probably be 2019's The Whistler. And then we got one more this year before the virus hit, in 2020, again just called Silbon. I always enjoy learning about these different stories. Something about urban legends for different parts of the world always interests me. I know we got a ton of requests for a bunch of other ones, which I'm unsure of when we'll be able to get around to them, but I'll see what I can do. And that about does it for this video. If you have any other ideas like see made into a video, then please post it down in the comments below, and we'll add it to our next viewer request week.
It's now time for the part of the show where we ask you to help us appease the YouTube algorithm by dropping a like, share, or comment. It helps out much more than you'd think.
And if you haven't subscribed yet, then it's very much appreciated. And if you'd like to support this channel, then please visit our Patreon. Link will be down in the description below. Even if you can't give a lot, every little bit helps.
We also have a Let's Play channel where we play different horror games, or just whatever he feels like sometimes. The link to it is also in the description.
And I guess I'll see you in the next one. Anyway, I'm Runya.
And I'm Ada.
Reminding you to take life in moderation.
Weep not, poor children, for life is this way.